everybody. It's Chris Shubert back for another edition of the Zoom, where we zoom in on thought leaders in the channel today. My guest today is one of our new focus suppliers for 2020, Mr. Cary Bush of Aircall. Welcome, Cary.
Hi, Chris. It's good to be here.
Awesome.
From my home office.
As I can tell. Coming to your home office, tell us a little bit about who is Cary Bush, and along with that, who is Aircall?
Sure. Yeah, I'm the director of channel sales at Aircall. We launched our channel program in the second half of last year, so we're a new supplier with CNSG. I'm excited about that. But we are a cloud-based call center solution with pre-built integrations to dozens of your cloud CRM tools, help desk tools, e-commerce tools such as Salesforce or Zendesk or Shopify, HubSpot, a lot of tools like that. We can literally help a customer to get their call center stood up with active numbers, with integrations to some of those tools I just mentioned, and we can do it in as little as 30 minutes or less, depending on the number of users and how complex the setup needs to be. But we can get them up and operational almost immediately. We have numbers available in up to about 100 countries, so we've got the ability to provide a global solution. And it's 100% software, so we don't need to deploy phones. We have an app that runs on iOS or Android, or a client that runs on a Mac or PC, or even a client that, like in the case of Salesforce.com, it can reside in the browser, in the Salesforce window. So a lot of different ways to get that up and moving very quickly.
So let me repackage a little bit of that for the CNSG community, because a lot of times we deal with suppliers that rattle off, as we all do, a lot of the features and services here. And one of the I want to kind of reiterate for the CNSG community some of the things we've seen with Aircall and why we've added them to our contact center practice. I think that in the most simplest way to put it, it's speed and style. As Cary told you guys, I've had a pleasure of visiting their office in New York, as well as seeing multiple demos on this product, is the speed and simplicity. Aircall's contact center solution literally can provision numbers worldwide in a matter of minutes. It also has the benefit of being 100% software, so it lives natively in all the different environments that Cary mentioned. That means that there's no phones to deploy, there's not a whole lot of configurations. It's set it up and go. And that's not something we can say very often in this space. But I also mentioned style. Aircall's interface is among the slickest we've seen. And one thing I think is unique is if you go to their website, they're very bullish, as they rightly should be, about the amount of customers that they've added on to their services in the last few years. And you'll find a lot of young upstart companies. Cary, obviously there's a lot of style to Aircall, but when I was looking at your major companies, and these aren't small companies, but a lot of them have younger CEOs, they're visionaries. Why do you think they're gravitating to a contact center solution like Aircall that has no phones and is not your typical, call center type environment?
Right. I think to your point of speed and style, I usually, when I'm describing Aircall to people, I have the three S's, and first is speed, and then simplicity, and then scale. Right. So I'm going to add style to that. So I'll have four S's to go with now. But yeah, I think the being unattached to a desktop phone, a lot of the younger workforce, they grew up in the age of smartphones and went through higher education having iPhones and Androids, and being able to tie into other cloud tools so quickly and easily. It's non-traditional, but it's very functional. And I think that it's just, this newer generation is no nonsense in a lot of ways. And it just kind of, not that phones are nonsense, because they still have their place. But when you're talking about customer facing work groups, help desk, call centers, those they're always working on their, from their screens and pulling up customer information and those kind of things. So I think that just the fact that we can do it so quickly and in a very simple and intuitive way, it's an easy tool to use, and it's almost as easy as using their iPhone or using their Android. So yeah, I think we'll see more of this. I think the desktop phone, I wrote a blog a few years ago on channel partners, and then No Jitter, I think a couple different ones that said the desktop phone is dead. And maybe I was a little early on saying that, but at a certain point, since everybody already has a device in their pocket, whether that be a phone or they have a mobile device and a tablet or an iPad. And of course, everybody's working with the Macs and PCs, mostly laptops these days. I think we'll see the demise of the hard desktop phone coming to us more and more. But yeah, that's it certainly does appeal to a younger workforce.
Let's talk a little bit about the integrations. Integrations are definitely a hot topic in both the UCaaS and the CCaaS world. Tell us about your approach to integrations, because one thing I noticed, for example, with your HubSpot integration is it was 100% native. I mean, I'm in HubSpot. I don't even know Aircall is operating in the background. It's just there as the voice engine. Tell us a little bit about your approach and how it's different from your competitors.
Well, I think the one big thing is the integrations are pre-built, and like you said, they almost look native or feel native. You don't even notice it's there until a call's coming in, and it kind of pops up in front of you. All the tools, note taking and tagging of the calls, all that information is pushed over into the CRM automatically. Not that other companies don't provide that, but because there certainly other companies are capable of doing integrations. But with the integrations being pre-built, the admin of Aircall and the admin of Salesforce, they just need to log in, tie the systems together on the back end. It's already built between HubSpot, for example, and Aircall, and the out-of-the-box reporting and functionality, it just starts working because these are already done. So that's the fact that we can do it so quickly, I think, is a differentiator. We're not doing things that others aren't capable of doing. I think we're just doing it. I think we're doing it faster.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree with that speed piece. Before we kind of move into our special topic here today, for those that don't know Aircall, I mean, obviously you mentioned you're a little new to the channel itself, but the company itself is not new. Tell us a little bit about the company history and the stability of Aircall today. Yeah,
so Aircall was actually founded in Paris, France. Our four founders are Parisians, and as Aircall grew, the concept of Aircall grew, and the brand awareness grew in France, kind of expanded up over into Germany and into the UK, kind of grew throughout Europe. A little over 3 years ago, we had our first office in New York, started with a couple employees, and now we have well over 100 employees in our Park Avenue office. It is there's nobody there today because everybody's working from home, and we have been. This is our third week in work from home mode. But so we've grown as we already started a channel program in Europe. Most of that is working with resellers and other telecom providers that would like a call center software associated with their services. Here, obviously, we have the established agent channel working through master distributors such as CNSG. And so we found that timing was good for us to expand that way and work with your partners and your consultants and really try to get this out in front of the traditional channel partner community in the U.S. as well.
So you already had kind of alluded to working from home, and for those that are watching the video version of this, they obviously see me coming from my comic book themed office, and you apparently from your hardwood kitchen floor.
Yeah.
Beyond that, Aircall, New York company. You mentioned you have one of your largest offices there in the New York City area. We're all currently, at the time this is airing, are going through the height of the COVID-19 crisis. With Aircall being a software-based contact center platform, how are you guys approaching this marketplace, and what are you doing to assist both the channel community and the customer community today?
A couple things. One is we have a free trial, right, and it doesn't require a credit card. A customer can use and try it out, see if it works. In this current situation with the pandemic, it's usually a 7-day free trial. We've extended that to 30 days because there's transition for companies and organizations, nonprofits, those that are trying to adapt to the work from home requirements. So 7 days didn't seem like it was quite enough. So we're offering to extend that. We had one nonprofit. It was an agency in the city of New York, the Department of Homeless Services. They were quickly because obviously with a pandemic, you still have to serve the homeless community, and they were really in a tight spot until they found Aircall, and we were able to get them up and running quickly. I mentioned we do have the pre-built integrations. Some companies have their own CRMs that we don't have a pre-built integration on, but we have an open API. So with little effort, we can work to integrate a non pre-built integration to Aircall. So we're working with some companies to do that and some organizations. But yeah, for right now, as we're going through this transition, just being able to extend that for our partners, for any of the CNSG channel partners out there, I can provide you with a unique link so that if you want to share that with your customers and you want to share this free trial option for them, it will assign that opportunity to you as a partner of Aircall and CNSG, and we will track that. And if that turns into a paid subscription at some point, because it's something that your customer might need, then we can automatically track that and make sure that we know where those leads are coming from and reward the partner appropriately.
Great stuff there. Let's talk a little bit long term. You guys have always had a great trial option. You've extended it during the COVID-19 crisis that we're under right now. But let's say I'm a legacy customer that is wanting to move my contact center to Aircall. Tell us a little bit about the migration path for someone from more of a traditional call center or even one of your competitors in the contact center world to Aircall. What does that look like?
Well, we have a mixture of all those. We've got some customers who are smaller that really kind of their whole company is customer facing in one way or another, whether that's support or with sales. And so they'll have all of their employees use an Aircall soft phone client. We have other customers that have maybe they're already using a good UCaaS company like RingCentral or somebody like that, but they need to overlay the call center piece on top of that. Ours is pretty competitively priced. And so because we can do internal and external transfer, it's kind of more of an over-the-top play for contact center, call center environments, or enterprise work groups or things like that. So we can kind of be a hybrid solution, putting together a couple good companies to provide one good solution. And then we have, there's the legacy systems out there. You still have Mitel systems and even Avaya and Nortel systems hanging on walls in the closet somewhere that you can't very well unhook that from the wall and let it serve you in a work from home, especially if it's not even an IP system. But we can do an over-the-top solution there, right? That maybe the call center, as they're working in and out of Salesforce all day, every day, maybe just those agents those reps need to use an Aircall service. And if it does need to be transferred back into a regular phone user or another business department that's not a call center, you can simply transfer those calls over to those teams or to those individuals. But it can be a standalone solution, or it can be an over-the-top solution in an IP world, a cloud world, or even over the top to supplement what legacy TDM boxes and systems can't provide.
Good stuff. Good stuff here. And it doesn't surprise me, because one of the things that we have found with Aircall is very flexible, very easy to scale company, and definitely one to really watch throughout 2020 and beyond as you continue to find success with the CNSG channel community. On that note, Cary, should a channel partner from CNSG want to learn more about Aircall, I think there's a charming individual that they need to reach out to. Who would that be?
I would encourage them to reach out to me.
That guy. Okay, cool.
Very easy email address. It's Cary@aircall.io, and that's Cary, Cary.
Fantastic. Well, Cary, thanks for being our guest on the Zoom this week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll get through this together. Thanks so very much, guys.
Thank you, Chris. It's great to be with you.